2,000 years ago, Roman power was near its peak, and emperors were replacing republican rule. At the same time, there were changes to the city's public spaces, changes that might be instructive. Rome began as a settlement next to a ford where two trade routes crossed. There were wooded hills for defended settlements. Springs and streams provided good water supplies, and there was room for development between the hills. As the town grew, even before defensive walls or bridging of the river, a marshy area enclosed by hills was drained by culverting its stream so that it ran more quickly to the river. This left a small space which became a religious, commercial and political arena, the Roman Forum. Rome shook off the influence of its neighbours by ejecting its foreign kings. The leading families established a senate, choosing two of their members each year to be consuls, sharing executive power. This was convenient for the leading families, but less so for the rest of the citizens, who actually did all the work. These citizens began electing two tribunes each year to express their views, and gathered to support them outside the Senate House when there was controversy. In the small, enclosed area of the Roman Forum, the aristocracy and the commoners worked out the political settlement that gave Rome its distinctive culture. By our own standards, it had defects. With no police, violence could go unchecked. Legal remedies were difficult to achieve, and ordinary citizens needed to become clients of powerful patrons of the senatorial class if they were to have support in adversity. But Rome was successful. By war and trade, it became the leading city of Italy, defeated foreign competition, and expanded its control over countries round the Mediterranean. Wealth and an ever-increasing stream of slaves flowed back to Rome. This wealth caused new tensions and escalating civil wars, as powerful generals gained too much influence over the political process by siding with the aristocracy or the commoners. In 44 BC, Julius Caesar was on the point of becoming dictator for life when he was killed by the aristocratic party. This led to riots and more civil war throughout the empire. Eventually, Caesar's adopted heir, Octavian, became the first emperor in 27 BC. He was given the title Augustus by the Senate. He nominally restored the Republic, while in practice becoming a dictator. Now we come to the interesting point about the Forum. Before he was killed, Julius Caesar had begun a massive renovation of the Roman Forum, rebuilding the Senate House, temples and public buildings round about. He also built a new public area next to the Roman Forum, doubling its size. After Augustus's accession, he built another forum, even bigger, cutting into a predominantly plebeian residential area. He also carried out extensive rebuilding of temples and monuments. So, just at the time when public debate and republican government was ending, facilities for public life were apparently expanding. Of course, what was really happening was the reallocation of the former political arena into what we would call an historical theme park, and a demonstration of the power of the new order by grandiose, intrusive building projects. Another innovation was construction of an army camp just outside the city wall, and the constant presence of the emperor's armed guards in the city. The next few emperors carried on with big building projects. The Flavians built an amphitheatre bigger than the Roman Forum itself, and later emperors built huge basilicas, massive public bathhouses and more forums, some cut deeply into the hillsides. More recent examples of this tendency are visible in Rome's Victor Emmanuel Monument, started in the 19th century, completely covering one of the peaks of the Capitoline Hill, and also Mussolini's new road across the Imperial Forum sites, a grand vista between his headquarters and the Flavian Amphitheatre. In this century, new forums are built in cyberspace. With a perspective derived from archaeology, we can consider whether new opportunities for discussion might really be the exact opposite.